Hello everybody, welcome back to High Ground. My name is Tanner, and today we're going to be going over rounds 1 and 2 of Swiss at the Montreal Major, aka phase number 2. No time for the intro or outro sequence. The playday was way too long, so no editing on this video. We're just gonna pump it out. Okay, let's talk about the games. Round 1, Dark Zero up against Falcons, and there's actually a lot of upsets in this first round. Yeah, Falcons, I was wrong to underestimate them. Really wish I'd gone with my prediction for them to make it out of phase number 1 in the upper bracket. Maybe that would have imbued me with some more confidence to predict them to do better in phase number 2, but as you can see, they're doing quite excellently. They take down Dark Zero 7-4. A lot of people were saying this is just the signature Dark Zero slow start. This happened before Canadian, with Canadian, and maybe seemingly after Canadian, where they get off to a slow start in both matches and tournaments, and well, as you can see, very slow start to the tournament. They are on the cusp of elimination, but yeah, that's Falcons beating Dark Zero. Robbie, the MVP. He's also the MVP here, so he's been the MVP 4 maps in a row, these two, as well as the 2 they played against Chiefs. Then we have Scars up against Chiefs, and this was a pretty close one, 7-5. This could have gone either way. I think Scars looked like they were in the driver's seat more or less early on, though it did go 3-3 at the half, and then Chiefs cleaned it up later in the game. I want to say they won 4 rounds in a row to secure the game. I think they were down 3-7. Quiz the MVP there. BDS versus W7M rematch of the Esports World Cup Grand Final, where BDS absolutely slammed W7M in all the maps, but this one goes the entire distance. And this game Sonics versus Virtus Pro were like perfect mirrors of each other almost, except for the final score. Both of them were played at the same time. They were both played on border. They both went 4-2 in the advantage of the lower seed, W7M and Virtus Pro, after their attacking half, and then BDS/Sonics, they both shorted up 4-4, and then it went 5-5, and then it went 6-6, and then the team that took that early lead, W7M and Virtus Pro, they both closed it out in overtime, but BDS versus W7M took 15 rounds, Sonics versus Virtus Pro took 14 rounds. Ambi continues to look excellent. They did lose this game. They also lose this next game. It hasn't updated on here, but we'll refresh it or something later. Yeah, when we get there. The game did end not in the favor of Sonics. Yeah, Ambi looks really good. He's continuing his momentum from that grand final against Dark Zero in North America. So that's BDS losing to W7M. That's Sonics losing to Virtus Pro. Both sort of upsets. And moving on, Secret versus Elevate. I don't actually know what happened in this game. I was too busy watching this Liquid versus G2 game. When I tuned in, this game was 7-7, and then Secret closed it out in the last round. So maybe I really underestimated Elevate. They almost got the win over Secret. They do get the win over Dark Zero over here, as you can see. And yeah, Liquid versus G2. This looked like Liquid was mopping up G2 off the back of Maya's incredible performance. He had, I think, 2 1v2s on the Deimos with the pistol. Crazy performance from him. They went up, I think, 6-2, and then G2 won 4 rounds in a row. Sent it to overtime, but then, you know, not enough. When they made the comeback in phase number 1 against Black Dragons, it was enough, but not here against Liquid. So 8-6 victory for Liquid. FaZe Clan up against SSG, another 8-6, so a lot of overtime, and really all close games, even the least close games. A couple of 7-4s bookending things. Yeah, FaZe take it down. Vidaking continues to look incredible. Generally not the guy putting up the big numbers, but this stage in Brazil and perhaps at this major, if he keeps it up, he is a guy putting up really impressive numbers. And that's Consulate. That's a map where I think SSG won it last time they played 8-6 a year ago. I think to the day at the Atlanta Major, SSG came back. I think they were down 1-6. They won 7 rounds in a row, but instead FaZe win it 8-6 here. Black Dragons, they take down Damwon, or D+, I guess. I wasn't really watching this game. Don't really know what happened, but this is the expected result. So I think the first 4 were sort of all upsets of varying degrees, and then this one, it was really close, but Secret did win it. I think the first 4 I predicted incorrectly, and the second 4 I did get correct. And I think that was like pretty common. I saw a lot of people with the exact same predictions that I had. Okay, round 2. So that was all best of ones. This continues to be best of ones, keep in mind. So that has, you know, something to do, I think, with a lot of these upsets. Falcons take down Secret. So, you know, Secret, they almost lose to one APAC team, and then they, I guess, well, you know, up to your discretion if you qualify Falcons as an APAC team. You know, the Middle East is part of Asia, so whatever you want to call it. Anyways, a team from not one of the big 3 regions. And yeah, Secret looking a little bit shaky. They were excellent at the last major in Swiss. They went 3-0. They were one of the 2 teams that didn't lose. Robbie, the MVP here, as I alluded to previously. This looked like this might have been a closer game. Falcons only get 4 defenses, but then they were just really good attacking on Skyscraper, and they managed to close it out. Liquid versus Chiefs, 7-4, and Chiefs continue to look reasonable. They didn't put up quite the fight against Liquid that G2 did, but still decent, but fairly solid win by Liquid here. FaZe Clan up against Virtus Pro. This was looking like a, sort of a back and forth game. FaZe Clan do get that 4-2 lead, but Cafe, we've seen it be very defender-sided. We've seen teams go down 2-4 after their attack and then win 5 rounds on the defense, but Virtus Pro couldn't quite push overtime, and they certainly couldn't win the game. KDS was excellent here. He's been by far their best player at this event. And then W7M up against Black Dragons. This is what I expect. Black Dragons, they did manage to handle D+. I don't know if they would have beaten any other team in this phase. I guess we'll see what happens in the remainder of their games. But this was my expected result, especially based on what we saw in the first round. Then we have BDS versus D+, now in the lower bracket. Yeah, D+, they lose another 7-4 games, so close-ish, but, not fantastic from them. They're probably looking like arguably the weakest team, maybe not in terms of expectations versus reality, but just in terms of the the objective reality. I think D+ is certainly looking like one of the weakest, if not the weakest teams. Scars take down G2, so maybe Scars is just, kind of good, and I mean, I guess they lost to Chiefs, so I think G2 just being a little bit inconsistent. Yeah, G2 going down 0-2. This is looking really scary in the 0-2 bracket with, G2, and then we'll see the other teams that are about to be there. Dark Zero losing to Elevate 7-5. Dark Zero almost clawed this back. They were down 1-6, and then they won 4 rounds in a row. Couldn't win the 5th to push overtime. But yeah, Elevate, I mean, they almost got the win against Secret. They do get the win against Dark Zero. Dark Zero getting mopped by Falcons. They get, well, maybe not mopped, but they lose to Falcons. They lose to Elevate, and they are 1 loss away from elimination. They do now get to play best of 3, so maybe that will work to their advantage. And then we have Sonics versus SSG, and I guess I'll refresh this, even though it's gonna bring back these things at the top, which are so annoying. Yeah, SSG win 8-6 on Bank. Tremendous comeback from them. This was a really swingy game. Ambi was great in this game. Ashton was great in this game, and he was really letting them know. Ashton was pretty bad against FaZe, but quite excellent against Sonics. SSG went up 3-1, so kind of an early lead. And then Sonics went 5 rounds in a row to go up 6-3 themselves. And then SSG went 5 rounds in a row to go from 3-6 to 8-6, close out the game. So phenomenal comeback. Not really what I was expecting. You don't expect 5 rounds in a row from one team and then 5 rounds in a row from the other team, but that is the reality of the matter. Okay, those are the games. Maybe in a future video, we'll talk about the ramifications as far as predictions. Don't have time for that at the moment, but I guess it's not showing in here. Let's refresh one more time, and they're not showing here. Turns out this simulation that I linked, everybody thought this was accurate. Turns out they're using a different system. I believe they updated it, so I'm hoping this is now accurate. Let me refresh this as well. Space Station 1, Elevate 1. So don't take my word for this. I guess in the morning when I get up, because I'm about to go to bed after I record this video, in the morning when I get up, I'll double check that these are the correct matches, but I think these are what's going to happen if this has been correctly updated. So let's zoom in a little bit here. We should expect, again, unless things change, FaZe versus Falcons, W7M versus Liquid, Secret versus Scars, and the 2-0 games up here, these are best of 3s. The 0-2 games down here, these are best of 3s, and then these 1-1 games, these are the last best of 1s we'll see at the event. So again, 1-1, Secret versus Scars, Chiefs versus Elevate, BDS versus Black Dragons, Space Station versus Virtus Pro, Dark Zero versus D+, and G2 versus Sonic. So going to see a couple of elimination games next round, as well as a couple of promotion to top 8 games, and then these games still don't have any definitive stakes attached to them. Obviously, you want to win, but this doesn't quite qualify you or eliminate you. So, all right, that's what we're going to see. That's what we did see, and that's going to do it for this video. Catch you guys next time.